So, as some of you might know, I said in my last speakerphone shootout, the Jabra Speak 510 came a close second to the Plantronics Callisto due to some small niggly issues. Well, it seems Jabra has listened to their feedback and have answered the call with the Speak 710. Thanks and welcome back to Skype4B Admin Reviews. First off, just a note, as you can see, I've started to branch out into videos a little more in an effort to try and make my content a little easier to consume. Rest assured, articles on Skype4BAdmin.com will continue, and this is no way to compete with the likes of the Teams Roundup. Hi Josh. So now let's get to the unit. First impressions are good, build quality is solid, and the design is modern yet subtle enough to get away with being next to any device. The two-tone look is good as well, blending with both my Lenovo and my Surface. For anyone with a keen eye on the Skype4B world, they might have noticed some similarity between this and the speakerphones as part of the AudioCodes huddle room systems. Well, that's because Jabra is OEMing these to AudioCodes. This is a great indication of the unit's quality and how Jabra have really pushed the envelope when it comes to the industrial design on this unit, including using several quite expensive production processes to improve the aesthetic, performance and quality of the unit versus the older 510 and the Callisto. It's not exactly fair to call it an upgrade from the older Speak 510, as the 710 takes the design of the idea of the 510 of a round speakerphone with touch controls and starts again from scratch, making it a bit larger than the 510, but touch controls have been redone, the voice prompts have been redone, and things like the new stand with its rubberized feet. Stop it vibrating around on the table. Trust me, it needs those. Speaking of the stand, it separates it from everything else in its field currently, and it's quite important because of one of the 710's biggest features. You can pair two together for stereo playback or even just a larger meeting room. Unfortunately, I only had one to test with, but I have seen this feature in the wild and it works remarkably well. Okay, enough of the design. How does it perform? With a larger speaker enabling better low-end frequency response over the 510, this goes from my Skype speakerphone to my portable media presentation device that can be my speakerphone. As for sound quality, or at low to moderate levels, I can't pick the difference between it and the defending champ, the Plantronics Callisto 510, to the point I needed to sample them both with the microphone, and even then blind test my wife to pick a winner. Start pushing into the higher volumes, and you would use in larger rooms or to overcome background noise, and the Callisto distorts, while the speak keeps coming from more and more with plenty of volume slider in reserve. The microphone is a massive improvement over the 510, and it does a fairly good job of reducing the echo here in my office. While it's not quite as good as the headset, it comes pretty close. Other things worth mentioning? Well, now there's a silo for the new Jabra Link 370. Thank God. Jabra even changed the colour of the dongle so you don't confuse it with the old 360. During my testing, I had media playing for around 5 hours, with battery life to spare, so I suppose if I had to complain about something, it would be now all the icons are the same colour unless you're on a call, and then they change from red and green. But now I'm just being really picky. With an Australian street price of around $300, these carry a price premium over the 510 and the Callisto, but I'd expect that to quickly shrink. So what are my final thoughts on this one? Well, despite the Plantronics Callisto being the winner of my previous speaker shootout due to the superior quality, the speakerphone I kept in my bag for day-to-day use was my Speak 510, aka the hamburger, mostly because it was easier. Easier to use, easier to charge, easier to get going if it was flat, or if you have lost the dongle. Jabra nails it with the 710. They take the established simplicity of the 510, solve all of my complaints with the original, whilst removing the fluff and improving the sound quality along the way. That, along with the new stereo functions, for presentations definitely makes this my new go-to for carrying in my bag. I think I'll call it the Whopper. Shame I have to give this one back to the office. Thanks for hanging around for another interview. As you can see, I'm trying to do a little bit more of these. Next, we're looking at the Plantronics VoxBox. We also have a couple of big contenders coming. We have the couple of new Blackwires from Plantronics, We have the new Jabra 75E, which is really interesting. That's on its way as well, and the Plantronics 6200. So I'll give each one of these its own little review video, and we'll go from there. If you've got any questions or comments, stick them down below. I do check my YouTube notifications. Otherwise, reach out to me on Twitter or on SkypeForBeAdmin.com. Thanks.